seems like ages ago. They would love to get back to Championship Sunday here.
Great adjustment off the net. It's important to notice that it's not easy to adjust a ball adjust to a ball off the net because it changes the spin, the direction of the ball.
Went for it on the serve. He'll get one more chance. So first point of the match here, Klinger and Ignatowich.
Super important in pickleball nowadays to go for broke on the serve. You're going to generate so much offense off of the serve if you can get it deep and get a mid-court return from your opponents.
Not enough from Klinger that time.
CJ trying to will it over.
0-1.
That one sails just a little bit long. Always like to talk about the indoor effect. Is that something that you prefer to the outdoor game? Get your answer here after this point.
It's a good, nice exchange between Blaine and James Ignatowich. To answer your question, yeah, I mean, I feel like your shots are more crisp indoors. There's not wind as a factor, and it allows for the purest form of pickleball where you can generate natural spin, top spin, dinking.
Oh, Klinger upset himself that time. Another point here, and Hovenier and Arnold have a 2-1 lead.
2-1-2.
And our first on the ammo.
The signature.
3-1-2.
That's how you know Julian Arnold wants it.
Always like to talk about the happy feet of James Ignatowich. Blaine Hovenier also, you'll see some of that with his footwork as well throughout the match. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, a little tap dancing happening sometimes at the kitchen line from Blaine. Nice exchange.
Does that so well.
Yeah, that was really well disguised.
And Julian Arnold come out firing. Don't usually get a whole lot of talking from Ignatowich and Klinger, so Julian maybe lone voice out there.
Julian Arnold is certainly feeling himself right now. 2 on Diamos, only at 3 points here.
Can hear him no matter where you are inside this 1.3 million square foot facility.
I think that pattern is going to work really well for CJ and James if CJ can continue to dink to Blaine.
That one's just wide. A bit of a slow start from Klinger. And I say that because this young man can just absolutely take over matches. Oh, not gonna get that one. Good hustle though by Hovenier.
3-1.
That's a really good inside-out speed up. James had to cover the middle there, and Julian Arnold did a great job at disguising that inside-out forehand speed up. But James Ignatowich's left hip, catching him off guard. That was just wicked.
Klinger says it's out. Arnold says he thinks it's in. Expect a challenge here.
Referee timeout. We have a challenge on the out call. The out call puts us at 4-5-2. We're now proceeding with video review.
Call.
After review, the out call stands. The ball was out. Loss of a challenge, loss of a timeout. 1 timeout remaining. 2 timeouts remaining. We resume play at 4-5-2.
TJ Klinger, just 18 years old, 3 times an MLP champ.
4-5-2.
Represents the state of Ohio so well. Big Ohio State fan. So big Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengal fan as well. As right now the chirping continues from Julian Arnold. Too much on it.
Yeah, everyone's hands were just really good in that point. And CJ with eagle vision, being able to let that ball go from Julian Arnold. That's a big move from a big guy. Just didn't get enough topspin on it. A little bit more topspin, that ball's in. I don't think it wasn't not there. I think it was definitely there.
Nip and tuck here in game 1, just a 1-point lead for the 11 seed.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. 4-5-2.
As we talked about earlier, Drew, just the importance of being able to go for broken your serve, and James Ignatowich having one of the biggest serves in pickleball. Also being able to have the ability to pick spots on the court, him serving down the tee at about Mach 50. That's a great sit by CJ.
Back-to-back points now. They've reclaimed the lead. Several lead changes we've had here in game one.
6-5-2.
And the put away by CJ Klinger.
CJ Klinger showing you why he's a 3-time MVP right there. Able to read a speed up, load up his backhand, ready for the combo. He can track the ball super well.
Oh, great get that time.
That was a really good disguised speed up by Blaine. And just an incredible pickup by James Ignatowich. Some of the fastest hands in pickleball.
So now 4 straight points. You can kind of sense, too, the crowd has gotten behind Ignatowich and Klinger. Maybe they're just not feeling the andiamos right now. Hovenier gets one back.
I think James Ignatowich tried to stab at Blaine's forehand just because Blaine was sort of shifting his weight, but I think that was more of a bait. I think he was baiting that speed up, and that's why he was on it so heavily.
Adds a 4-0 run now.
5-1. Sorry. 5-2.
And he tags Julian one more time.
Yeah, it's a great flick, great spot right at Julian Arnold's chicken wing, coming in transition zone. Just a little too high of a drop.
8-5-1.
All it takes is a ball being an inch over the net, and all of a sudden it's not safe. Shows you just how low, small the margins are here at the top level.
Better. 5-8-1.
So an opportunity now for Hovenier and Arnold. Lead's been cut to 2. Team of Blaine Hovenier and Julian Arnold got by AJ Kohler and Colin Johns to get here. And before that, it was the team of Samuel Lee and Emmerich Donkina. Can kind of sense Julian Arnold trying to get in the head just a little bit, I think, of CJ Klinger, the youngster, and let's see if that is going to be effective here.
Yeah, getting a little bit chirpy. I think it's just his way of getting locked in, fired up, trying to find some momentum here.
It is
Fortunate missed drop. Oh, go ahead, Drew. Sorry.
No.
Oh, that's all I was going to say.
7-8-2.
Wow.
What a point. I mean, all those balls were sort of off pace. None of them were hit as hard as they could. I think because they were all sort of low balls, so none of them wanted to hit it flat and out. So they all took a little bit of pace off it. Just being able to adjust those firefights of the pace, that just shows you why these guys here in the semifinals.
Yeah, it wasn't the most crisp handspad, but once Ignatowich was able to really center it up, saw the result.
Yeah.
There's another. Lead back up to 2. Now 2 points away from taking the game. And starting to feel it in that rhythm right now.
Yeah, I think for Julian it would have been a better ball to go back at CJ because James Ignatowich was already up at the line. And with his fast hands, I mean, anything up at him just going straight down at your feet. So
another chance to take the game here. So they'll keep it alive here. See this team really feeding off each other. Blaine Hovenier, I just love the positivity that comes from his side, no matter who his partner is.
Positive thinking is everything. It's so important to stay confident and stay positive out there. There's just no use for any negative self-talk or toward yourself or your partner. That has been the spot for Julian Arnold this whole time. He's gotten James Ignatowich, I think, 3 times so far in that.
Silent after that exchange. No Andiamo that time. Knowing that there's still work to do.
And CJ loading up his 2-handed backhand can be lethal. I think for Julian it's going to be important to find his left hip.
Big moment in this match right here.
And a missed counter. And James Ignatowich, I feel like he was on that ball. Wonder how that ended up in the net.
This one to tie. Oh, missed the serve.
Pretty good. I can't overrule. Referee timeout. We have a challenge of the out wide call. The call puts us at side out. Game point 10-1. We're now seeing the video review.
So what's the serve?
After review, the wide call stands. The ball was wide. Loss of a challenge, loss of a timeout. 2 timeouts remaining, no timeouts remaining. We'll resume play at side out. Game point 10-1.
Chance to take the game here for James Ignatowich and CJ Klinger.
Time in. Game point 10-1.
Oh, there it is. So Arnold comes up a little bit short, 11-9 to Ignatowich and Klinger after game number 1. Oh, what an entertaining day it has been, and an entertaining event altogether thus far. CJ Klinger and James Ignatowich right now starring. Taking game 1, Blaine Hovenier on the other side with the great Julian Arnold trying to dig in, get a game back here in game 2. Misfire that time from Arnold. Also got to keep an eye on those point standings, Nick. Ignatowich right now came in 18th place in men's doubles. Got to squeeze into the top 16 to take part in San Clemente. That's another storyline we're certainly following.
the San Clemente Finals, right, Drew?
Yes.
Got it.
CIBC PPA Finals coming up first weekend in December, right after Thanksgiving. Hopefully we don't eat too much.
They're going to be working off all the Thanksgiving turkey.
Now we've got a new Vulcan ball. After that one goes out of the stadium here. And is that one coming back? Looks like it. There it is.
Like a basketball game.
A very honest fan there.
I know.
Throwing that ball back.
0-1-1.
Wow. Well, they got a chunky return by James. And they could have generated some offense off that, but just a missed backhand dink by Blaine. It's those points that make a difference, though, between winning and losing.
So, Nick, if you're Hovenier or Arnold here, do you change any approach here in game 2?
You just have to play clean pickleball if you're going to beat a team like CJ Klinger and James Ignatowich.
1-1-2.
You can't afford to make a lot of unforced errors, and when you have the opportunity to attack and capitalize off of a high ball, for example, or a counter that you're reading, you really want to make sure that you are. Otherwise, you know, they're going to be capitalizing as well. Like that, for example. So they can win this if they this is still anyone's match. They can win this if they can keep playing clean pickleball. Their counters are in, their drives are good, their serves are big.
2-1-2.
Just the start that Julian and Blaine were looking for.
Oh, a little bit of a miscalculation by James Ignatowich. I think he thought the ball was a little bit higher than it was, and he's standing a little bit too tall. It's really important to stay low, to continue to gauge the ball all the way until it hits your paddle. So just missed that one in the net, swung a little bit too big.
That one's going to be way overcooked.
I don't think Julian Arnold's pretty proud of that shot. Hopefully he can brush it off, though. Next ball.
That one's going to be just wide. It's been a bit of a roller coaster for Julian Arnold here in 2024. Not quite the results he was looking for, but one of the bright spots, teaming in mixed doubles with who else but Maggie Brascia.
Let's go. Yeah, I love them as a partnership. Julian bringing all the energy, and Maggie Brascia, obviously the silent assassin. She lets Julian just be as loud as he likes. Julian processing what's going on.
Yeah. All right, come on. 2-3-2.
They're just going to have to play clean pickleball.
And that is not clean right there. Another point.
Looks like they're showing a little bit of frustration towards the court.
3-3-2.
Tied at 3. Side out foul. Now back to Hovenier and Arnold.
Right now, go. Right now. Come on. All right.
Love to hear the chatter on the court. Oh, and right back at you is Arnold. He's trying to get the crowd going.
Julian is a man that feeds off of energy. I think when he says on Diamo, he uses that obviously to fire himself up. Love to watch it, Drew. Love to watch it.
Of course, you got the Midwest crowd here in Milwaukee. Julian from the left coast doesn't always go as well in certain parts, but I think they're slowly getting used to it. How could you not? And looking back at 2024 to come after this one. These two teams vying for the right to compete on Championship Sunday, semifinal. And he was chatting throughout the break too. As soon as we stepped away, Klinger again, so silent, lets his play do the talking.
Stop doing it!
Julian Arnold absolutely feeling himself. One thing I love about him, Drew, we were talking a little bit over the break about his authenticity, just his ability to just be himself solely on the court, no matter who's watching.
Great defense. It is an Andiamo fest here on Championship Court. Julian Arnold, Hir and Arnold. Any big-time chirpers you've had a chance to play with in the past, Nick?
No, everyone's been pretty respectful, generally speaking.
You heard the reception from the crowd too. When Ignatowich and Klinger were able to get side out there, I think they clearly have picked their favorite team. So they have not taken to the antics right now of Julian.
They have not. They are not embracing his energy. It's going to be super important because Julian Arnold is able to be so big in the middle. It's going to be really important for Blaine to know when to reset, be a rock for him, and allow Julian to step in there and find some offense for his team. And when he can turn it up, it's a balance. Oh, doing a great job at that.
Constant chatter continues here with Hovenier and Arnold. They've got a 9-3 lead.
That was a really good return to serve by CJ Klinger. It's important to get the return deep as Julian Arnold has a really good forehand drive. Good hands by CJ Klinger. The crowd loving it.
Certainly have their guy. Taking the 18-year-old side here, and now Ignatowich to serve. Bit of a hill to climb here in game two.
Wow. You can see CJ's getting fired up. He goes, that's the spot right there. He's feeling it. Good for him.
We know he's talented, but still so young. When you got a guy with so much experience on the other side kind of getting in your head, you got to feel it a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the pressure is on. I mean, you're looking at a Championship Sunday appearance.
Big overhead.
The defense was just unmatched in that point. There is nothing that Julian Arnold and Blaine Hovenier could have done.
And that lead trimmed to 4. Klinger and Ignatowich trying to continue this momentum. A little bit sleepy in game 2. How about 3 in a row?
Momentum is everything.
That lead starting to shrink, and they can feel the pressure. Klinger, little fist bump, cool as a cucumber, alongside his partner James Ignatowich. And Hovenier trying to take game 2. A couple of UCLA products in a prime spot here. Trying to get side out back to him. ATP effective. Second serve now.
6-2.
Crashing.
Yeah, really good. You know what, Drew? I was just thinking, actually, I did have a little bit of a chirping match earlier today. I ran a 64 match against Michael Lloyd. That was fun.
Oh, he is the guy that's been in the spotlight as of late, hasn't he?
He has been. We were able to come on top.
Definitely look forward to seeing a lot more of him in the coming year. Side out back to the 11th seed. Ignatowich with the finish.
He has a massive forehand. His overhead is just so big. I mean, that's where tennis obviously translates really well into pickleball. When the ball's high, he's able to just obliterate it.
7-1.
How about this now? Within 1.
8-1.
Right down the middle, the finish. Second serve now on the way. Pressure cooker starting to heat up here in game number 2.
Do it. You gotta do this right now. Here. Yeah. All right. Come on.
8-2.
Oh,
That was a good spot. That was it was really important for Julian to be able to get topspin on that ball, to get it down at CJ's feet. If he would have hit that flat, CJ was on it. So.
oh, raises the line. Hovenier gets a break. And that was a big one. Sets up game point now. That ball dropped on that line like a hand grenade.
Let's go, baby. Come on. Right here, right.
10-1.
Little net love for Julian Arnold and Blaine Hovenier.
So there it is, Blaine Hovenier, Julian Arnold, able to extend this to a game number 3.
You back. Yes. Come on.
Thank you.
Right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Right.
1-0-2.
That one sails wide. So Klinger and Ignatowich double their lead. What do you think is going to be the key here in game number 3? Do you see any kind of X factor?
I think, gosh, I mean, this is anyone's match in my opinion. I think it's just going to be about who can make the least amount of errors at the end of the day. I mean, all 4 of these players can generate just an immense amount of offense. I think just what it boils down to is being able to find the patterns that work, and those patterns change in between a match. And you realize maybe one thing works game 1, game 2, another thing works game 3. You have to switch it up and play wild pickleball. You know, you just never know. It's always about just being able to adjust. And here at the elite level, all 4 of these players are able to do that exceptionally well. I think it goes back to, at the end of the day, just playing super clean pickleball, clean enough to where they're able to find the patterns that are going to work for them. So that's what's going to work best for all 4 of these players. Really good. And you can see how Blaine Hovenier slides into his backhand. He's sliding into that backhand so that Julian Arnold's able to come into that forehand and cover any sort of combo that might be coming back from James Ignatowich, because it's just super hard shot to go behind Julian Arnold in a fast hands battle exchange. So just covering the high percentage attack zones are going to be really important. Julian Arnold able to chicken wing James Ignatowich. That's also really important to keep into consideration. I mean, all of these players, like I said, being able to generate a ton of offense, your backhand flick, that takes into account being able to pick spots. That's going to be really important. And showing some visual frustration over the court.
2-3-2.
With the put away, side out back to the 7th seed. And again, the winner of this match gets Federico Staxrud and Gabe Tardio. That is going to be one tough out on Championship Sunday.
It will be.
Ignatowich will certainly take that. Well, that surface got some bite on it, doesn't it?
Certainly does. He has just an insane ability to get his weight into his serve and whip it in such a way that it just gets so much spin and so much pace. It's a weapon for sure for James Ignatowich. Good flick set up by CJ Klinger, and James Ignatowich able to clean it up.
5-2-1.
Back Klinger up that time. Second serve now on the way. Julian Arnold trying to get to a Championship Sunday here in the last regular season PPA event of 2024.
I think that was a stretch and a half for Julian Arnold, unfortunately. I mean, I just don't think that that's a shot that...
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Do it. It is absolutely awesome. Nick, I finally signed up yesterday. Everything at my fingertips. Pause, rewind, fast forward, watch any match throughout the entire year. It is really a job well done.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's awesome. Love being able to rewind and look back at certain points.
certain epic points. We had one yesterday, and the Hayden Patrick-Win Hurricane Tyler Black match taking on Riley Newman and Jackie Kawamoto. If you haven't seen that point, go to the PPA's page. It was one of the best of the year. So 1 point out of the timeout. And now Hovenier and Arnold trying to continue to trim the gap. Oh, talked about errors. They're going to be huge here down the stretch.
Yep, especially in a close match like this. Every point matters, every dink matters, every speed up matters. You have to be incredibly composed and smart with your decision making.
Made sure to not miss that time.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of emphasis on that, that forehand by James Ignatowich.
That would, to me, is the scariest thing in pickleball, being on the wrong end of one of those.
I couldn't agree more. By CJ Klinger.
Crowd loves this young man.
How could you not? Such a good kid. Good, comes from a good family. Very bright future for him.
Hovenier stuck the paddle up there. You know he wanted to bring that one back. Right there. Millisecond, though, to make that decision. And now Klinger feeling it. Timeout, Hovenier and Arnold. They feel it slipping away here in Milwaukee. Anywhere on tour. You ever come out to an event, you will see that firsthand. Was there on a platter.
It was. Julian is thanking the pickle gods for that miss by CJ Klinger.
So quite a deficit to make up here for the 11th seed. This team's certainly capable, though.
4-9-1.
Too much there. So unable to come out of that side out with any points. That is a dagger right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to keep your composure and stay level-headed so you can continue to make good decision-making that's going to benefit you and your team. And I think, I wonder if Julian sometimes gets a little bit outside of himself. He gets a little bit too thinking about the wrong things, and that can sometimes affect his ability to play, because Talk about a guy that can take over a match. I mean, if Julian Arnold's on, oh my gosh, what a point. That was a big point.
Right now, the momentum clearly on the side of Klinger and Ignatowich. And match point now going to be on the paddle. Big Papa Jimmy.
Looking for their chance to secure their spot in Championship Sunday.
There it is. CJ Klinger and James Ignatowich. Much to the pleasure of this capacity crowd in Milwaukee. Outstanding three-game match we just witnessed. And at the end of it, CJ Klinger and James Ignatowich come away with the W as they head to Championship Sunday to battle the team of Federico Staksrud and Gabe Tardio. Drew Felios alongside Nick Black. And our winners are in place. James Ignatowich and CJ Klinger. James, we'll start with you. This entire event has given fans a chance to watch different pairings, and you guys have been so entertaining. Talk about playing with CJ Klinger.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually been, a huge proponent of CJ's game. He's a younger guy, obviously, and when he was the MVP at Challenger, I was watching a lot of that, and I was like, oh, this kid could be really good. And then I guess I was right, because he got pretty good. And I've also lost to him a bunch of times, so I was like, okay, please play with me, CJ. And he said, he reluctantly agreed.
Good stuff, CJ. And CJ, love watching you play. And sometimes when things get dicey, you seem to get a lot of reception from your father. Dad is always there cheering you on. Tell us how much he means to you as you're competing.
Yeah, he's just been so supportive, always keeps me locked in, tells me what I need to focus on. And it's just amazing to have a dad like that.
Oh, that is outstanding stuff. Now, guys, this one's for either one of you. A tough task in the finals. Staksrud and Tardio. James, how do you approach these guys?
Well, I practice with them all the time. They both live like 20 minutes from me. So that doesn't mean it's, it's definitely still going to be a huge challenge. I mean, that's probably one of the best teams you could make. I mean, Gabe is maybe the best right side guy in the game outside of Dylan. And it's just really tough team, so hopefully we can just kind of hang in there and do our best. I think we're a matchup that can maybe give them some trouble too. I mean, with CJ's hands, anything's possible.
Guys, tremendous stuff, and we will see you on Championship Sunday. Congratulations.